The people who are invested in this state are people like the largest defense contractor in the world, Lockheed Martin. They will die before they see it go.
And while we don't know what's going to change the world next, we're probably already working on it.
Lockheed Martin basically gets in like an octopus and lifts its tentacles, in all branches of the government. And then they own them. And that's how they operate. They make the mafia look like a bunch of schoolboys.
Fiscal year 1999, 2.3 trillion missing. Fiscal year 2000, 1.1 trillion missing. The Pentagon has claimed year after year that the reason it can't account for the money is because its computers don't communicate with each other.
1 trillion $1 bills stacked high would reach nearly 68,000 miles into space, 1/3 of the way to the moon.
I got a phone call from the FBI saying that I was a target of a death threat. And that's what happens when you go against the big boys.
Who has the contracts today to make those systems communicate with each other? And how much have the taxpayers paid for them?
There are times that corporations do things they should not do, in which case they tend to be suspended for some period. There are times then that corporations can get out of the penalty box, if you will.
This company was never in the penalty box. If you could proceed to my second question, please.
The second question, I've forgotten what the second question was.
Individuals operating in the shadows and never having their names called are able to leverage the power of the military and the foreign policy apparatus for their own personal pecuniary ends.
What now? Who's the enemy? How do we justify all these tanks, all these planes, all this? What better new enemy than an hypothetical, invisible enemy called the War on Terror?
El 20 de marzo del año 2003, los aviones de Irak bombardearon los Estados Unidos. Tras las bombas, las tropas iraquíes invadieron el territorio norteamericano, hubo numerosos daños colaterales. Muchos civiles estadounidenses, en su mayoría mujeres y niños, perdieron la vida o fueron mutilados.
I mean, I think at the most basic level, when we realize how we've entered into a permanent state of war, like what often proponents of counterterrorism on a global scale think of as a long war, but a war without end, something like that. And I think that what we've accepted is a political regime that is sustained by fear. This is a very old political tactic. I mean, Machiavelli asks in The Prince, is it better for the prince to be feared or loved? And his conclusion is, because the locus of fear, the source of fear resides in him, in the prince, it can be constant for his rule. Whereas the locus of love resides in the people. It's in their power. And so for them could be constant and long-lasting. I mean, so Machiavelli already opens a question that he probably doesn't provide us the answer with. What would it mean to have our social arrangement, like the basis of our social choices, be founded on love?
I don't think one has to justify the cost and nature of the national security state. One just has to keep the people fearful enough to support it.
But what I want to bring to your attention today is the potentially much more sinister nexus between Iraq and the Al-Qaeda terrorist network.
Every word in that speech was gone over by the Director of Central Intelligence and his Deputy Director.
After we swept...
So it was nothing that I made up. It was nothing that I stuck in there. And in fact, some people tried